So, Formula Legends, a game that was announced out of nowhere like 6 months ago, priced at just £20 and somehow manages to capture the entire history of Formula 1 racing without the official licenses, but with a whole lot of heart. Now, I've put in a decent amount of hours so far and have been lurking in the developers Discord where they're super active, and I've got a lot to say about it. So today we're going to do a deep dive review of Formula Legends, the good, the bad, and why I think this game deserves way more attention than it's getting. The first thing that stands out is the price. £20, not 80, not 70, not even 60. For a fraction of what you'd pay for something like F1 25, you get a game that spans every era of Formula 1. We're talking the 60s, 70s, 80s, all the way to now. Some decades even get multiple sets, early, mid, and late grids that reflect the evolution of the sport during those particular years. And while yes, the names aren't licensed, you're not going to see Hamilton or Schumacher spelled out here, the developers had some fun with it. You'll run into drivers like Hans Troll. Yeah, I wonder who that's supposed to be. It's goofy, it makes me laugh, and most importantly, the cars themselves, they're spot on. The designs, the proportions, the difference between decades, the attention to detail is wild. Tracks too. Every corner, straight, and curb feels like it was lifted straight out of history. In the last couple of days, the game has just introduced a custom setting where you can change the names of the drivers as well, so if you don't like their silly pun names like Lewis Hamilton, you can just change them. So what do you actually do in Formula Legends? Well, there are a few main modes. The meat and potatoes of the game is Story Mode. This is where you pick your favourite era and race against AI. Each decade feels unique and the rules of the time are respected. Want to try the 60s with their clunky cars and zero downforce? Go for it. Prefer the turbocharged monsters of the 80s? That's also here. Or modern hybrid era cars? Absolutely. Difficulty levels go from easy to normal to hard, depending on how much you want to sweat. There is also a time attack, which is pretty self-explanatory, just test yourself against the clock. Then there's the custom mode, where you can build your own race or Grand Prix, set custom rules, and you can even override the regulations from that era if you feel like experimenting or playing around. And then on top of this, there's a photo mode, which is a nice extra. You can get up close with the cars, zoom in, spin around, capture shots of the cool details. Not the flashiest feature, but it's still a pretty cool feature nonetheless. Now let's talk about the actual driving. This is where a lot of people might bounce off initially. If you're coming from a sim racer like iRacing, or even something more arcadey or a kart racer, the handling here can feel really weird at first. Steering seems slow, clunky, and the cornering feels awkward. But here's the thing, it's partly not the game, it's also the cars. Now I'm sure most people, like myself, started in the 60s era, and guess what? Those cars were slow and clunky to turn. They didn't have modern downforce, they didn't grip like glue. So what feels wrong at first is actually the game getting it right. Once you adjust, you find a rhythm. You start trusting the car to grip when it needs to, and suddenly every lap becomes this balancing act of focus and commitment. You can't just slam the brakes late and hope to survive a corner. You've got to plan, execute, and stay locked in from lap 1 right to the end. And the thing is, if you don't want to play with these 60s cars, you've got plenty of other choices, and the modern cars have much better handling. Then there's the AI. They're no pushovers, they're fast, like really fast, maybe too fast sometimes. But the intensity makes the races feel like actual Formula 1, where tenths and hundredths of a second separate drivers. I'm not too bad at racing games, although please don't roast my racing line, but even with a decent amount of experience in different racing games, I felt like there were times where I was sweating just to fight for some points. Presentation-wise, Formula Legends punches way above its weight. The tracks reflect their eras, no modern safety changes pasted onto 70s circuits, no missing curbs. The cars look right, sound right, and the engines, they're surprisingly well represented. You can tell the difference between a screaming V10 and a grunty turbo. Graphically, I actually really like it. Is it photorealistic? No. But it's clean, stylish, and the weather effects in particular shine. Racing in the rain is surprisingly gorgeous. If you've played games like Art of Rally or Circuit Superstars, Formula Legends feels like it belongs right next to them. It's got that same mix of charm, accessibility, and depth. But alright, it's not all perfect. Let's talk about some other negatives. So, the difficulty balance. At the moment, it's a bit all over the place. Easy mode is, well, you guessed it, easy. Normal mode, well, the AI can fly away if you make a small mistake. And hard mode, unless you're a veteran who knows every track, apex, and pit strategy, you're gonna have a difficult time here. The AI behavior can really vary between incredibly fast and never making any mistakes, to just bouncing all over the place and clipping on corners, and causing massive accidents which really slow down your race. There's also a minor issue with the track limits, where some corners are way too punishing even if one of your tyres clips the corner slightly. The only other two drawbacks that I can think of at the moment is the lack of multiplayer, but the devs have said they're working on it, and then also not having manual shifting or wheel support, which is the same story. Not here yet, but updates are planned. Here's the thing though, every single issue that I just listed, the devs already know about them. They're in their Discord, they're engaging with players, asking for feedback, patching, tweaking, and openly communicating their roadmap. Mods are already in the works, DLC packs are planned, and everything points to this game being supported for quite a while. And that's what makes the current 8 out of 10 score feel more like a temporary stop on the way to something even better. Because if there's one thing you can feel in Formula Legends, it's the passion for the sport. This isn't a cash grab annual release, it's a love letter to Formula 1, quirks, history, and all. So yes, if you are a fan of Art of Rally, Circuit Superstars, games like that, then this is absolutely for you. If you even remotely like Formula 1, this is also for you. And honestly, if you're like me and just love anything with racing, Formula Legends is a no-brainer. £20 for a game that covers 60 plus years of Formula 1 history is insane value. So here's my verdict, Formula Legends is not perfect. The AI needs work, multiplayer and wheel support are missing, and difficulty balance is off. But the sheer amount of passion poured into this project makes it stand out. At £20 it's an easy recommendation, and for me it's a solid 8 out of 10 right now, with the potential to go even higher as patches, updates and DLC roll in. If you love Formula 1 history, if you want a game that respects every era of the sport, and if you want something affordable and fun that still makes you sweat, Formula Legends is absolutely worth your time. I'll be keeping an eye on updates and I'll revisit my score once things like multiplayer and wheel support are added. Until then, this is Formula Legends, a game made by fans, for fans, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. So let me know, what do you think of this game? Have you played it yet? Are you going to? Or if you're not, let me know in the comments as well. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave a like, and also subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications to stay up to date with my future uploads. A massive shout out to my Patreon subscribers for the continued support, and all that's really left to say is, I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.